Hello everybody, my name is Matrix, and welcome to this video where I'm going to explain how you can play Arknights on Linux through three different methods, which are essentially just using three different game launchers. And for the Proton version, we're going to be using CachyOS, but I have tested it to most of them. It works on most Proton versions, from stable Proton releases to the experimental version, CachyOS, WD Proton, GE Proton, everything. Most Proton versions. Anyways, so the first thing we're going to need before we actually get into the setup is the Arknights Windows client. So you just need to download that. I already have it downloaded here. There we go. And yes, I should mention this way is fully GUI. There's no command line, no nothing. It should be pretty simple to follow. The second thing we're going to need is Proton Plus. Now, this is a fully GUI, polished way of managing all the different custom forks and versions of Proton that one might have on their system. So you can download Proton Plus from FlatHub or all of the different package managers or software stores if it's available there on Linux. And then you're going to need one of the three game launchers. And of course, I'm going to show you how to set it up on each and every one. That's the great thing about Linux. You have several different options. So if you prefer one over the other, just use that. Anyways, so Heroic Games Launcher is available through Flatpak, AppImage, and of course the different distro software repos and software stores. I mean, technically it's package repositories, but you get what I mean. Then there's Lutris. Under its download section, it has listed for where you can get everything for all the different distros, where you can get the specific version for all the different distros. So there you go. And finally, since Steam, it requires quite a bit of setup to make it work if you're not like on CachyOS, because on CachyOS it's just a single button. I'm just gonna assume that you have Steam working, and we're gonna go from there. Now that you have everything downloaded, what you're gonna need to do is open up Proton Plus, and from there, ignore this being in use. I have Steam open, so that's why it's saying it's in use. So you're going to open up Proton Plus and go to Proton CachyOS and download the latest version. And once you have done that, since I'm using CachyOS, I already have it. I don't need to use Proton Plus to get it. That's why. And once you have downloaded it for your runner of choice, we can then proceed with the actual setup. So, the first setup I'm going to show you is the easiest and simplest one to set up, Heroic Games Launcher. So, it's extremely simple here. You add a game, you write, of course, you write Arknights, that's the name of the game. It's the Windows client we downloaded. And on Wine settings and on Wine version, remember to choose Proton CachyOS SLR. There you go. And before you do anything or executable, remember what we installed is actually the setup exe. So we're going to need to run the installer first. So we're going to go into downloads and select our setup exe. And now we let it run. It should start running it, and there you go. So it's going to be stored in Yostar, Games, Arknights and Game Launcher. So that's the default, just install it. Alright, open it now. There we go. Now you can definitely just install the game there. But since this is the launcher, after this point, we're gonna close it down before we continue further. Yes, exit the launcher. And select our exe, which is gonna be in Drive C, ESR Games, Launcher. That's the game launcher exe, choose it. and then finish. Now you run it again, and you can finally install the game. Pretty simple. Nothing else left to do. So of course, we're going to skip through this process, and then once you have everything downloaded, it'll launch the client. But I will make this point clear. Be aware that as soon as the game window launches for the first time, it is going to go in borderless full screen, so you won't really be able to exit out unless you force close the game. So please keep that in mind. And you can only change the resolution once you have downloaded the entire 17 gigabytes of the game. Alrighty, we're back. So you can just choose any one of the voice batches you downloaded. I'm just going to choose English. We're going to continue. Don't worry, I muted the game. That's why there's no sound right now. And you can just start, log in with your email or any other login method that you want to. So that was the method of, yes, login failed, I know game. But yes, that was the method of setting up Arknights on Linux using the Heroic Games launcher. Now, moving on, I shall show you how to do this now on Lutris. So let's open up Lutris. Now, what you want to do is, before we do anything, provided, of course, you have done the Proton Plus thing. So you want to go into Wine and click this little cog icon that says configuration. You open this up, and inside of the runner options, there should be a Wine version selection dialog box, and you should choose Proton, CachyOS, SLR, or any other Proton version that works. But for this tutorial, as I reiterated multiple times, we are going with CachyOS. You just save it, and there you go. So now what we want to do is add a game and click the second option, install a Windows game from an executable installer. And we'll name it Arknights. Yep, it's for Windows 10 64-bit. Let's install. Yep, install it again. Now this is going to show you the installation directory. But now, as it says right here, it's going to install in games and then make an Arknights folder. So yeah, I have no problem with that. Continue. And here is the part where you have to select the actual exe. So there you go. Set up exe that we downloaded. And let's install. So this is going to start working through it, opening the game and installing it. And it's just the same as before. You choose the default installation path, you install the launcher. The launcher will install, you open it up, and then you start the game to finally install the PC client. And then you start the game, basically, with... Oh, right, so, quick thing here. Before I started off this recording, I had already installed the PC client. That's why I didn't have to do like 3 GB of download, but you're going to have to do that. Now, of course, we're going to continue. As always, download the full game. I'm going to choose these 3 voice packs. Feel free to customize and then wait yet again for another 18 gigabytes worth of download. Alrighty, and now that it has downloaded, we'll just obviously choose the invoices, confirm, go in. And now before going into the game, all you have to do is log in. either with your email address or any other login methods that they have provided below for your preference. And that was how you can make Arknights run on Linux using the Lutris Launcher. So there we go. Now moving forward, we shall try Steam. So it's a little bit more complicated in terms of running it through Steam as a non-Steam game, but this is personally what I prefer to use for my Arknights and Enfield thingies. So, this is my original launcher. I already have it. It's installed. My main account is on there. So what you want to do is open up Steam and then add a non-Steam game. Browse and you'll go to downloads. You'll select the setup exe. So yes, you add the selected program. There you go. There's the setup exe. Now, before you do anything, before clicking play, do not click play yet. Before that, right click it, go into properties, and under the compatibility section, force use of a specific compatibility tool. And here is where you'd want to select Proton CachyOS or anything else. Literally Proton Experimental, Proton 11, WD Proton, Proton GE, all the things I mentioned will work because I've tested it out on Steam. So we'll go with Steam Linux Runtime, which is basically just CachyOS SLR, which is the version that the wiki for CachyOS and the distro maintainers recommend. So now that we've chosen that, wait, hold on. Yeah, sometimes the dialog box bugs up and chooses the first option in the selection box instead of the one you actually selected, so make sure that doesn't happen. Right. And now we can actually finally start it. Let it open up. And once it opens up, we go in, and we can change the installation path for this. What we'll do is we'll choose desktop, my computer, C drive, and then users. There you go. Public. There we go. Open. Users, public, and that's where we're gonna install it. Why did I change the installation path when I haven't done it for the other methods? That is because the normal installation path is where this thing is from, and later we're gonna have to go into the file manager to do some stuff, so just to distinguish that the two are different. That's why. Normally you'll not really do anything with it, just leave it as it is, that's all. Okay. And now you can obviously install the game, but before we do that, you shall close the game. Yes, exit the launcher. We'll close it. And now we will go into our file manager, which here I'm using the Dolphin file manager that comes pretty standard on KDE. So what we want to do is we want to go to home, go into user, right? User, then home. Now, remember, in your file manager, there should be an option to show hidden files. In Dolphin, it's this thing here. What you want to do now is go into .local, go into share, Steam. So let me just find that real quick. There's Steam, and then Steam apps and compact data. Now that we have gotten into this folder, you're going to see it's just a bunch of numbers. Well, inside of these numbered folders is each and every one is a different Proton prefix to make sure that the games on your account here actually run. So what we're going to do is go into the search bar and search Arknights. There we go. And the ones that come up here should work. So Arknights EN Game Launcher. Arknights EN Game Launcher. And there you go. C uses public. That's the one where we change the installation path. So now that you've found the actual launcher exe, what you're going to do is right click and go into properties. You want to copy over its file path by triple clicking its location and then pressing Ctrl C so that you copy it over. Now that we did that, we can go into properties for the thing we set up, properties for the launcher we set up, and replace the start in from the downloads to this. And we can replace the target with this file path, add a /, and then the actual name of the file. So I'm just going to select the name, copy it over, and paste it towards the end. And we did this just because Steam would not open up the setup exe again every single time you open up the app. So now it should just work as before. It should just open up the launcher. That's all. And that it does. It works. So all you need to do is, you know the deal if you've watched the other methods. All you need to do is just install the game. Alright, now that that's done, we can start the game again and download the extra 18 gigabytes. Because yes, even though I can literally only choose one voice pack, I just like to choose multiple. That is all. I know how stupid this guide is. Let's just wait it out, and I'll see you at the end. Alrighty, and here we go. Let's click the use Ian voices, start, and as soon as you log in with your email or anything else that you might want to log in with, there you go. It's done. Pretty awesome if you ask me. Yes, login failed. Now, just to show you, just to demonstrate, yes, I have a account, a different one, my main account, and I play it on Steam. So let me just show you that. But other than that, that is about it for the guide. Sorry for the copious amount of mistakes that I may have made. Even though I've used Linux for more than a year, I'd still consider myself a newbie who doesn't actively go out of his way to research stuff, which I probably should start doing. So this is just knowledge I got from the, funnily enough, and that I got from the, when making the Enfield guide, from Reddit of all places, and tried to corroborate it with some other guides for some other games. So this definitely works. And there you go. Yeah, it works pretty well. Yes, we know. Please get off. Yeah, it works pretty well. It's smooth. Just like if you were to install it on Windows. Very great. Yeah, I know. Goodbye. We can even do a stage test to show you how it's going. Very smooth, by the way. Oh, before I do, I should probably show the settings that I'm using. So, cursor size, it's too big, so I've put that down on performance high, 120 FPS, anti-aliasing, VSync is off, full screen Windows. That's all you kind of really need to know. Adjust the sound effects to where you'd like it. And here's you can change the keybind, finally. Oh lord, playing this on emulator on Linux was a travesty. But yeah, that's about it for the guide. If you did enjoy, please be sure to like and subscribe. It helps the channel a ton, and I really appreciate any and all support that I do end up getting. And I should probably show this on screen. The Arknights Enfield is getting a Steam launch soon-ish. The date isn't revealed yet, but that's gonna make my guide useless, and that's no problem because a lot more people will be able to play it on Linux. So yeah, I'm probably going to make an update video about that when it actually launches, but have a good day.